Part two of the narcissist mother-daughter relationship. Okay, so first things first, y'all. We kicking it right off. First things first. In this video, I'm basically gonna like tell you how I came to realization by one, studying some of this stuff, and two, just being like really truthful with how like everything happened. Number one, hands down, you have to come to realization that this is who your parent is. I think as we grow up from either things that we see or just in general because we love our parents, that we don't really sometimes see them for who they are and for what they're showing us. And the only reason why I say that is because like as a kid, you are very just naive to everything. Like you're not supposed to be dealing with real life stuff, so you really don't know how really things really go, right? So as you grow older, you kind of just create like, or as you grow, you just kind of create you have a vision in your head of what you want your mom or dad to be, whether it's from like things you've learned or things you've seen. And I'll give you an example. Like for me, I seen a lot of like, I heard a lot of love songs. Y'all know the 90s. Y'all know the 90s. It was popping with the love songs. Even though love songs was for spouses, it's just still like I grew up listening to a lot of love songs. So I know kind of like what love, I guess, was supposed to be in a sense, even though it's a different dynamic from parent to child than spouses, you know. But a lot of video movies too. Like a lot of movies was about family and gatherings and like Home Alone. Like Home Alone was one of them. Like movies like that where they just show like this whole family dynamic. You know, going to school, hearing stories with other kids about how them and their parents are. So kind of have like that depiction of like what a mom I guess is supposed to be. And then I've seen like some teachers that really were fond of me, just how they treated me, like had that mothering spirit as well. So, you know, things of that nature where you can kind of see how things are supposed to be. And then when you go home and it's not all the way there, but again, you're a kid, so you don't know how to, you really don't know how to interpret those emotions that you're feeling. So with that being said, it's like we will make up this fantasy of what our parents either should either should be or what we want them to be, especially if we're not getting it. So with that, sometimes it's hard to come to realization that your parent is not that like what you think they're supposed to be or what you would want them to be. And I think that might be the reason why people can be held back, because a lot of the times we'll focus on the wrong thing, on why this isn't happening or why this is happening or why it's not this way and things of that nature, rather than just figuring out, or not figuring out, but just realizing, coming to realization, coming to copes with what you're being shown. And it sucks at the end of the day because who wants to be treated any old kind of way from their parents? And I wish it was different, but I can't change one, the past, and two, what the other person, what another person does, right? But I do believe that all of this stuff has shaped me to be who I am. While I think some of what my mom has done and say, I don't think even now, like I still think it might not be intentional, but I just think she doesn't know how to fully come to grasp with reality to the point where she can sit in it and deal with whatever she's been through in life, to now be in other people's presence without thinking that for some reason people are going to look at her a certain type of way. Because my mom has like a I have it all together type of thing when nobody has it all together. Like I don't care if these people that you could tell, because even people with money, they don't be having it all together. It's people out here that will have, like for example, Will Smith was doing an interview where he was saying how he basically got to the top and it's like it's nothing. It's not what you expect it to be, and the money doesn't hold your family together. The money doesn't really change how people that's close to you look at you. Like, you know, like they have issues. People with money still have everyday issues, and I used him as an example because he's one of the top, if not the top, grossing actors, and has done so well successfully in life, and still and like has access to money out of this world, but still has a void that needs to be filled. So I feel like with my mom, it's the same. Like there's a void that needs to be filled, but she's just not. She's thinking certain things is going to fill it, and it's not. And I don't understand the. I never understood how sometimes people who are overly religious do that, because it's like, for me, in our faith, you got the key. Like you essentially got the key to handle that, but it's something in the mix of that that's not clicking for her to be able to tap into to that. Like you gave your life to Christ, but you're not all the way living in it. And I just don't understand why. It's like she is where she say she is and some of the stuff she's doing, but it's like she's still kind of at surface level and not really able to go deeper within herself and release all of that to God for him to handle. And it's like she's still holding on to stuff. And I mean, at the end of the day, we all got our own like things that we go through. So it's not even no judgment on that part. And that's why when we did used to have conversations about certain things, I used to try to at least be empathetic, because I'm like, I know you've been through some stuff, and obviously it's not the stuff that I go through, but it's like, what is making you deflect and project this type of energy to me, to somebody that hasn't done anything? And I don't believe that people are born narcissists, because one, when you're born, you're a baby, you're being taken care of. Like we learn everything in this world. So somewhere something happened, and I think that would be the hill that she has to go over to be able to fully deal with those emotions. But if she can't come to terms with tapping into those emotions that had her feeling a certain type of way, and she keeps living in the fantasy world, then she's not going to ever be able to get past it. And that's unfortunate, because I don't even know how you tap into it. Like for me, I had to. You know how sometimes they say you just got to go through the fire? I think some people be just still standing there looking at that fire like, okay, let me just pour, like they got a cup of water and they just pouring water on it, and it's a whole like forest fire type of thing. So I don't know. I think that's the reason why. I think if she has done that, like do more internal work, she would be able to. It's a possibility. It's a possibility that she could be able to change how she deal with people, because it's not just me; it's other people around her too. And I don't. I feel like she might not understand the impact that she has had, because she's on fantasy land of feeling like she got it all together. God is her witness. God is at the forefront, when the whole time in reality and people looking on the outside in is really not even like that. And she needs more help, but she's acting like she don't. So I definitely pray like that God can open her heart somewhere, somehow, but also give her the strength to be able to deal with that, because whatever it is that's keeping her back definitely got a strong hold on her. You know, the enemy, he'll try to get you real quick, especially if you turn to God. And that's the thing. It's like you turn to God because you were in a very vulnerable moment when you did it. And I won't say what the vulnerable moment is, but at the end of the day, it was a very vulnerable moment that you decided to go ahead and give it to him. And he saved you in the moment to then turn around and not do the full work. Like at the end of the day, it's still work. Like this, the walk with God is not just whatever, because when the enemy loses another soul, he gonna keep on. He gonna get you even harder, because at the end of the day, how dare you? Like he thought he had a stronghold on you. So how dare you turn away from him? But in God and under God's umbrella, we have that protection and we have that strength. But it's not ours. It's not the physical strength of us. It's from Him. And I've been in that situation plenty of times where I'm like, yo, I don't have the strength to go on. I don't know how I did some of the stuff from just our relationship and the stuff that I had to deal with at home. I don't know how I did some of that stuff on my own, because a lot of the times I wanted to snap, but it was something that was keeping me connected. And now that I know what it is, obviously it's God, but I could have never explained some of the stuff on how I could stay calm and not want to react when sometimes I was well within my right to do so. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna give y'all some traits so that you can recognize that this is your situation or not. Okay, number one, first of all, there are things called, or the proper term is overt or covert narcissist. Covert is basically ones that do it behind your back. Overt is the ones that's gonna be up in your face with it. And my mom is an overt. She is an overt narcissist, yo. She's in your face, and what you gonna do about it? That's the type of, and with those type of people, you gotta have a certain type of strength to deal with that. Because otherwise, y'all would pop. It would be a pop off. So y'all gonna go at it, and that's what that person is looking for to now then play victim. So I'm just gonna get y'all the traits to recognize on overt because I haven't come across with a covert, but I've definitely come across with an overt. Number one, highly self-centered and emotionally demanding. Yo, I think that's weird because it's like you don't know how to handle your emotions or even mine. Like, I could not be emotional at all around her. So, but you demand your emotions to be put at the forefront, and however you're feeling and whatever is going on for that day, we all have to fall in line under that. And that's crazy. And self-centered in the sense of the world revolves around her, and anything and everything that she goes through has to come first before you. And leave it to her. She'll say, I took care of y'all, I did this. Well, number one, I don't like when parents say that as if we asked to be here. Now, y'all ain't asked to be here. Y'all didn't ask to be here either. But that is a conversation you need to have with your own mom and your own dad. That's not something you could put on me like, I didn't ask to be here either. Okay, but you're here. So what are you doing with your time here? Rather than like torturing me and making me feel bad for being born. I don't know what was going on prior to me being self-conscious of me being alive. Like, I don't know what. That's it. I won the race and boom. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's like, how you going to put that part on me? And when people say that, I feel like that's the number one to show like, yeah, you got some underlying stuff with your parents that you now trying to project on me, and that's not fair. Number two, an overt narcissist is belittling, openly critical, and very dismissive. This is the first time you seeing this video and you're on part two, make sure you check out part one. So go check that one out. Then come back here. And hit a little follow for your girl if you like the convo. But no, so I had mentioned in my other video that she was very openly critical of me behind closed doors, but would never do it to people that was out in the front, like in Front Street, like the public. Maybe some people, maybe some family she was openly critical to, that could notice it, but other than that, for the most part, it was kind of like behind closed doors type of thing. And I was the child who received the most accolades. Like I told y'all before, I got straight A's up until I think fourth or fifth grade, and that's when I got my first B. I lost it on my first B. Like, it's a B, girl, you're fine. But I was just used to getting straight A's. She was critical about how I looked when I was heavier back then, like when I was younger. So that type of stuff definitely could have bothered me. It didn't, I think, because back in the early 2000s, we used to be cracking on each other when we was in school. So it was kind of like nothing could really, like, when you hear some jokes from your peers and them jokes be good, you be like, dang, like, so it's kind of like I kind of became numb, if you will, because we always had to crack with people anyway, and you had to come back. You couldn't just sit there and not say nothing because then they was going to call you a chump. So it's like, I kind of had to learn type of thing. But then too, it's like, how you gonna call me big and you the one that's feeding me? I'm not feeding myself. So why you not controlling what's going in my mouth? But whatever. As I got older in high school and stuff, like eighth grade, I started losing weight because I started getting into sports. I started doing softball, and then ninth grade softball and cheerleading and stuff. And I think 10th grade, I think I did. I want to say cheerleading. But then after that, I had to go work because she wasn't gonna pay. She wasn't gonna pay for the stuff I wanted to pay for. But anyway, saying that to say, she would criticize how I look, and I'm like, okay, but now I'm feeling myself because, girl, I'm not big no more like that. So now I actually feel confident about myself, and you still talking stuff. It would be like, oh, your pants is too tight, your shirts is too tight, or this or whatever. And then sometimes it would be like compliments where it's like, oh, you're so beautiful. It's like, yo, she was so back and forth, it's insane. But she would say, you're beautiful, you remind me of me. Um, she liked when I got into makeup and stuff. Oh, I like your makeup, or I like your nails or your toes. Like, so it was some compliments that was there too. Because here's the thing, I'm by no means is this video to trash talk anybody. It's just this is really what happened. So I only can say how it happened. But that doesn't mean that everything was just so bad. It wasn't. It's just like for the most part, I didn't really like having interactions with her when we were in that home because it was just overly like it was forced, and I don't like the forced stuff at all. Um, and a lot of the times it was just like stuff that never got handled. It was always just issues like you telling me off, and then we just supposed to eat. Then like that type of cycle, I don't like that because I feel like we gotta have a conversation about what happened so I can tell you like how I feel, but I never was able to say how I feel for real. And if I did, it would become an argument. Now, I mean, after a while, all right, girl, like I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna take the punishment, but I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because like what? And then some days it was just too much. So whatever. But again, by no means is it to bash. I'm not bashing my mom, but I am saying what I've been through and the stuff that I had seen. Another trait of an overt narcissist is being envy or competitive. Now, I won't say my mom was competitive. I won't say that because I feel like I didn't see competition. I didn't see her really trying to be in competition. If she was, it was in her head, but not physically as far as like let's say if I wear something she was trying to wear something too or like try to upstage me. No. I won't say that. But envious, absolutely. Like I said to you before, in my previous video, I remember we was walking around a corner to some like to go to some store and I had on a what's them t-shirts called? Like it's like a U shaped t-shirt cut neck. I don't know if that's the proper wording, but that's what I'm gonna call it. U shaped neck um t-shirt. Now the t-shirt was tight, but it wasn't like tight. Like it was just tighter, you know, like it was fitting. I'm gonna put it like that. It was fitting. My jeans was fitting. You can't help the assets that you have, but at the end of the day, nothing was out. It was no skin that was showing. It was nothing. I literally had on jeans. The shirt was long sleeve. It was a black shirt. I remember it was like this yesterday. My favorite jeans and my shirt was tucked in. One, I don't like belly shirts. Never wore belly shirts. Like that was never my thing. So I felt like it wasn't crazy. And then I wasn't top heavy, so it wasn't like there was spillage out. And I never forget we was walking around the corner going to some store and this guy had walked past us. So she's in front of me. My mom is in front of me. My sister's on the side, and I'm like right behind them. Because you know, as teenagers, you texting and stuff, you're not really paying attention. But I'm at the same time I'm paying attention. Anyway, the guy come past and he looked at me. I just happened to look up, but he looked at me, and when he passed me, he looked back at my behind. Now, men do that, like period. I didn't. No matter what you got on, men will do that. Like they be looking. So he looked. I didn't say nothing to him. I don't remember if he said anything, but if he did, regardless, I didn't say nothing to him. I didn't even acknowledge this man. When I realized, let me catch up to her a little bit because we wasn't too far behind. I wasn't far behind. It was literally like she here, and I'm like maybe right here, all right, right here. So when I realized, I'm like, oh, and I started walking a little faster to her. I think I had some flip flops on, or no, me some sneakers on, and she was like, "Yeah, see, you wearing them tight clothes. That's why the dude was looking at you, something like of that nature." And I'm looking like, and then she just started going in like, "Yeah, your shirt is all down below, or it's too far down." Looking like, "Girl, what is you?" What? And I was very self conscious of what I wore around her because I didn't want to hear her voice anyway. So I knew it wasn't like that. Plus, again, I never wore stuff like that. That's not even my character. Like, that's not how I am. And I'm just looking like, what? And then I remembered that the guy walked past me, but I always pay attention to the guys that what I know they're gonna walk past and look. And if you got even it don't even matter if you got assets or not. If they're gonna still look to see number one if you got it. So I'm looking like, girl, how you gonna get mad at me because he looked at me? But then would allow my sister to wear certain things. And my sister was younger than me. She 5 years younger than me. But then would allow my sister to wear fitting clothes with more exposure, and she had more assets than me. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even have anything. The only thing you know what I'm saying? Like, and not to go into like how my body looked or how hers looked, but it's just like I'm gonna keep it short and simple. She had more access to me, and her clothes was more revealing than mine. And nothing used to be said to her. But the moment I come outside, got my hair straight, got me a little, I didn't even have to makeup on like that. But my clothes are fitting, and you want me, girl? So I feel like she was very envious of like how I looked. I think she was envious on how I carried myself too. Because again, I told y'all she used to say how I remind her, or yeah, how I remind her of herself. Um, the way I used to talk, like we didn't really talk about guys and stuff like that. Like I never told my mom I was talking to nobody, or I couldn't talk to nobody, I couldn't date nobody in high school, nothing. So all of that stuff I had to hide. But I couldn't tell her I liked nobody. Like I needed a phone. I wasn't going to my phone took. I would probably wasn't gonna be able to go to like to participate in anything. I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. So she didn't really know much, but like even if like let's say I don't know a conversation come up where I'm talking about something that one of my friends did or something, and I'm giving her my opinion on how I would act. Like, oh yeah, I'll leave a dude. Like this guy's cheating, but I'm never staying. I think things like that showed the strength that I had that she once had that I feel like she feels she didn't have no more. And I feel like that's why she always tried to act really tough too, because it's like she knew she was, especially in the parts of like dating, she wasn't very strong there, and she seen how I was, and it just, I mean, still at the end of the day, it's like, come on, girl, it's still not a competition because we're not even talking about the same people, like, and again, to your knowledge, I'm not dating nobody, like, I'm not talking to anybody. Um, Another trait is unable to celebrate your wins unless she can take credit for it. Yes, 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 yes. Told you previously, out in the open. Oh, my daughter this, my daughter that, my daughter get good grades. She got this award, she got that. And we had them award ceremonies and they kept calling Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine. I'm getting called, boom. Smiles, claps, hugs, kisses. I got all of that in public because she could take credit for it because it's looking like I'm having good parenting at home because I'm getting all these accolades. So how can she not get the credit for that? You know, and then teachers just, oh, congratulations on your daughter, Jasmine, such a pleasure to have. She's so sweet, she's so this, you know, she's so that. All of that is to her, you're doing such a good job with her, whatever, whatever, right? Boom, she eating all that up. But behind them closed doors, man, I wasn't. It was a better head, better head. Throw myself on the side, like, yep, this is regular. And even though it is very regular because I was used to getting them. I still deserve to be celebrated. I did all of that work, not you. Nobody was helping me do no homework. Nobody was helping me. She was getting frustrated when we was on homework. Nobody was helping me study. Nobody was helping me take tests. Like, girl, this is from me. I just didn't have the strength to realize that at the time because I was a kid. But it's like, bro. um, Another trait that you are dealing with an overt mother is they are easily angered by boundaries or independence. Yo, okay, so back in my later days, I'm very independent, but again, y'all, she raised me. I still won't understand this because she raised me to be that. So how can you get mad that I'm doing what you actually raised me to do? Make it make sense. But I was very hyper independent, and I just did everything for the most part on my own. But I feel like that wasn't I didn't want to. I felt like I had to, because if I didn't, it wasn't gonna get done. Like, it was some stuff that, if I don't know, I would have to come to her too about. But after a while, and Google became a thing, like, what we going to do? Because back in my MySpace days, I was coding. I was making pages. That's literally coding. Like, I used to go on the internet and research everything. I'm really that type of person. So once the www World Wide Web came about, man, I'm on Google. I'm figuring it out. But for her, it was like I was hyper independent. I figured out everything as far as like schedules, how this is gonna go, how that's gonna go. I was filling out scholarships. Like once I got closer to being in college, I was filling out scholarships. I got some scholarships. When it came to filling out applications, I did all of those applications myself. Only thing, I think when we went to go look at the school, I picked my school I wanted to pick. When we had to go look at the school, take the tour. That's the only thing. She had to come with me, obviously, because she had to. But yeah, that's it. Like, other than that, everything else I was doing for myself. I mean, like, once we got a little older, and I mean that's rightfully so. Like, as you become a teenager, you're not going to depend on your mom all the time. And it's like, wouldn't you want it like that? Like, where I can go out in this world and be able to navigate by myself, but you just be there along the way if I need you, so that I can know how to make tough decisions. Like, why would you want me so anchored on you to the point where it's crippling? And I mean, I could see from a narcissist way of thinking how, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, dang, like what? So, um, she was very angry about it. And then just recently, I tried to make some boundaries. Man, that blew up. And not even like, I want to say like 2 years ago, I tried to make some boundaries with her. And that's when we had gotten to that heated conversation. That's when I realized I'm still like, she still can get me like that. But now, yeah, I promise you we can have a conversation. It is not gonna bother me, girl. You are upset with the wrong one. You are fighting a demon that is not mine. Like, it's not me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. But when I tried to set those boundaries, she really she felt the way, and then you could tell because her spirit was disturbed by some of the stuff that she was saying, and then like she liked to flee. She want to flee. Where you going? Because either way, if you're going to get to because see, this is the thing. When you start to have kids and then the mother is not in the kids' lives, one, and it's crazy because I have so many reasons to like not deal with my mom at all, and I still can't keep an olive branch open. Like, I'm not actively looking to extend it, but if it was to be presented to me, then I'm open to presenting it, like, or receiving it, basically. Um, and so now she don't have a relationship with my kids, which is sad, but it is what it is. So I'd rather protect you than not, because you're not going through what I went through. But um, if you can't make it right with me, you can't get with them. I cannot fully trust you around my kids if you don't even really like me like that. Like, you willing to just tolerate me enough to the point where you can see the kids, but that's not gonna sit well with me if you want to be alone with them. You know what I'm saying? And not to say like you're gonna do anything, but like physically, but emotionally, girl, I don't need these kids to be emotionally damaged. Like, you damn near tried to get me, but by the grace of God, it didn't happen. So me being their mother, I am the one that has to protect them, like somebody should have protected me, and I wasn't. So that's what I'm doing. And when I try to set that boundary between me and her, so that we can be cordial enough to be able to be around each other, or for her to see the kids, you can't accept what I'm saying. Y'all, it be something simple like, don't, like, she used to send Bible verses every morning, because now she blocked from my phone, but she used to send Bible verses every morning or just randomly out the day, and she would send it. But I told y'all at the time, I can't receive it from her. Anything with God and Jesus, I cannot receive it from her because how she did it my whole life. So I'm like, yo, stop sending me that type of stuff. It don't matter. She has no consideration for other people, and a lot of narcissists are like that. Like, again, emotionally demanding, because now she don't give a damn how you feel. It's what she want to do, and she very much well put that. Like she acted that out, because when I say, hey, don't send me these, you send it at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock. I'm not up. I got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, just don't send that. She can't even do something as simple as that. If I say don't come over my house without being unannounced, don't come over my house without unannounced. We're not on that same level anymore. Your title is a mother, but how you act, it's not like you're my mom. And therefore you don't get the same type of privileges if you're not willing to compromise some things, because I have to compromise not trying to knock your head off of me and you was getting into it. So what you compromising? Because you still acting a fool and I'm trying to keep my composure. Like, it's give and take. I'm still human too, so I'm going to fall short. But instead of me being in a moment where I can't fall short and then you got something to blame me for, I'm just going to remove myself altogether. Another thing is they're obsessed with their image. They are obsessed with their image, and they are obsessed with how people view them. Again, like I said, she tries to hold it all together, like she got it, like nothing's wrong. There's only a few people she could be vulnerable with, and that's my dad and one of her friends. But they are the ones that's not going to. I'm not gonna say they're not gonna tell you the truth. Like, they might, but she still could be overpowering in that relationship where they're basically like, it's not even worth the argument. Compared to me, where I'm like, it's worth it because you need to stop acting crazy and get it together. So by me being the one that does that, she don't like that, because I'm gonna make you stand on what you're doing, and I'm gonna point it out, and I don't care how you feel about it. Because why is you this old acting like this? Like, what have you learned for these 50 plus years? Why you think you could just talk to anybody in any kind of way? Why you think you could just go around and do people a certain type of way they're not supposed to feel no way, or say anything? But a lot of people don't, because it's a lot to deal with, especially overt narcissists, because they're right in your face. And a lot of times it's like, it ain't even worth the argument. Like, girl, I don't even want this type of relationship that bad to be even like trying to figure out, but because you're my mom and you still try to be in my kid's life from time to time, it's like, I don't have to deal with you, but the fact that if I do, you're gonna stand on what you're doing. Like, I've told myself, period, all 2025 is the year of accountability. I am no longer gonna allow this family to sweep stuff under the rug and not deal with it, because it's hurting us going forward and it's not helping. So if we can handle our situations here and now and look at each other as family and still move forward, then I'm okay with that. But when it comes to the point where you don't want to respect certain things about grown people, I don't know what to tell you. Your boundary is your boundary, and my boundary is my boundary. I will respect yours as long as you respect mine. If you don't respect mine, I will remove myself from the situation so that me and you don't have to get into it. Because a lot of mother-daughter relationships, and then, or at some point, can get into being physical. And I'm not even trying to do all of that. Like, for what? I'm the type of person that if I told you I love you before, I mean it. Like, I'm very serious about saying I love you, and I don't tell people I love them if I don't mean it. Like, I don't do it. So if I love you, I can't sit here and have you think that the way that you keep deciding to show me that you love me is by hurting me, that I'm okay with it. No. And I for sure cannot have you continue to, or not continue, but to think that you can pass that on to my kids. No. Mm-mm. They're going to be very emotionally, they're going to understand how to deal with their emotions head on. Period. You can cry, but we can talk about it. You can sit there and be mad, but we can talk about it. Because you need to understand, there's things that you're going to have to talk about. It's going to be tough. And you sitting and sweeping on stuff under the rug, or just not dealing with it and continue to go on life like nothing ever happened, is going to have you in a bondage you do not want to be in. And I see it with my mom. And that's the problem. I'm holding you accountable, period. You don't like it, oh well. That's just what it is. But when it comes to how they're being seen, that's why they don't like people who pull their card, because they want to be seen a certain type of way. They want to be seen like they got it together. And best believe they will lie to keep it going. Like, they will lie to keep it. Oh no, everything's fine. Like, whole time it's not. And I think that's their biggest downfall, because y'all so obsessed with trying to make it seem like you're not torn, but it ain't nothing but a band-aid over that. and a band-aid can rip off easily. So lastly, the last trait is they lack empathy. Like they lack empathy big time. Like, and it only will, again, goes back to showing love when it benefits her. Like they will empathize with you if it benefit them. It's kind of like, I got to get something out of the deal for me to give this. Otherwise, it's too much. And I think that's crazy because we're talking about a mother-daughter relationship. We're not talking about a friend. Like, girl, like, girl, what? Like, so, and so with that, like, they'll give like attention when you're doing well, just to keep up the appearance of them looking like they got it all together. Um, but behind closed doors, they're trying to either devalue you or sabotage what you got going on. And if it's emotional, then it's like the breaking down of your mind to make you think you're not really doing good when the whole time you are. So you can't even sit here and celebrate because now you're thinking about some stuff that they didn't said that was slick. That was like, now it's turning on. You should be celebrating, having a good time. The whole time you over here dealing with whatever they're saying to you, and you're like, what's the issue? Like, why would you say something like that? And now your mind is focused on the negative rather than that positive of whatever that thing was you're supposed to be celebrating. They will definitely try to guilt trip you. Like, yo, the guilt trips. But the thing is, yo, God's so amazing. The thing is, I used to peep the guilt trips in the silent treatment. Girl, we could go silent treatment all day. I'm cool with just be myself, and I've always been. So you not talking to me ain't hurting me. I think that's why I got it the most, because I think she really seen the stuff in me that was that was strong, that she lacked or lost along the way in her life. And she like, this girl that got, like, she got it. And low-key probably tried to break it, whether knowingly or unknowingly, but the Lord said no. But the Lord said, reject. Like, because I never like felt, I did not care. If silent treatment, I did not care. I did not care about no guilt trip. You cannot guilt trip me, girl. I do not feel no way. Like, you feel the way, okay, like, which one we do? That's how I used to be. It's like, okay, all right, mom, I'm sorry. Like, it was no feeling behind a sorry. If I said it, I'm gonna tell you that right now. And then they'll try to like attempt to like reel you back in. And yeah, especially if they see you like thriving. Like, and I'll say, like, I was, so my mom had moved to this one state, right? And I had wound up moving to the same state because I had a job offer in there, which was insane. But I actually liked it down there. Like, it was cool. And now I never forget, she had called me, asked me, "Oh, did you buy a house?" And I'm like, "No, I ain't buy a house. Like, why would I buy a house somewhere I don't even know if I'm gonna like it?" And she was just asking me all these questions. "Oh, like, where you live, how you live, da, da, da," like, and I'm just looking like, and then she was trying to get to me, like, to my house to kind of see how the house was. And I had a 4-bedroom house there. And she was like, she kept trying to get over there and like asking my daughter to come. I didn't know why she was asking. And I'm just like, girl, why is you doing all this sanitary when you know we don't even rock like that? Like, why you keep trying to figure it out? But now that I think about it, it was kind of a way to kind of like either reel me back in or try to ask for like if she could stay over, because she be driving trucks. So it's like if she could stay over or whatever. I think that's what it really was. Um, or somehow for me to try to like help her in a sense, because she used to ask for help a lot. Not a lot, but she used to ask for help for some stuff and from me all the time. And I helped her. Like, I ain't mind, like, it's not that deep. But I just, in my head, I'm like, I just think it was funny. Like, they will try to reel you back in, and like sometimes, like, depending on the conversation, she would or depending on what the situation was, she would apologize the next day. And that's why I tell y'all now, I can't do the sorries. Like, I done heard sorry so much, and then you went right back and did the same thing. A sorry means nothing to me. I don't care what you did. It don't mean nothing to me, because once that behavior has not changed, then I know that sorry felt like you just said it just to say it. And I can't. I tell my kids that, don't be sorry, just do better. Like, there's nothing wrong with apologizing. I think sometimes apologies are needed because some people need them. But for the most part, you need to know how to change after that. Like, the point is not for you to stay the same. it's for you to change. I'm sorry is to say, hey, I didn't mean to do you this way, but now I want to keep this relationship between me and you. So let me go ahead and change and not do what you asked. Not for you to keep doing the same thing. So for with her, I definitely say a lesson I had to learn was them sorries. Mm-mm. They didn't work for me, not with her, because they don't mean nothing. I have to see the change from her in order for us to move forward, and that's period. And that's gonna make you stand on that, and you don't like that. Like the mothers, they're not gonna like that because again, it they look at it as like a superiority thing. And how dare you tell me what to do when I'm your mother? Like whole time, I'm just trying to get us to have a relationship. What are you talking about? I'm not looking at it as I rule you now. Like what? And then the thing is, I don't understand what moms is when you get older, you're gonna need your kids. So wouldn't you want to have like a child that you can count on? Cause you very much well would count on me when it comes to that. But you know what? Sometimes that pride be too thick. They'll just they won't admit it. And that's a crazy way to go out because even after everything she has done, and I say this all the time, I still wouldn't put her in a situation just to see her suffer. I'm not accepting anything, but at the same time, I'm not going to knowingly see you suffer because of what you've done to me. We're all going to get old at some point, and I don't want that coming back on me. And it's not even in my heart to do. Like what happened before happened. It was very detrimental to me in my childhood growing up. But I'm okay now. And in order for me to move forward, I'm using that pain to now create the strong version of of the strong mother version of what I should have had when I was a kid. And now I'm giving that to my kids so that that cycle stops with me. And I just took on all of that heat and all of that riff and raff, and now I know what to do going forward. And that's just what it is. Like I'm not gonna allow what happened to keep me in a cycle of bondage. Like I don't even think of that type of stuff. Like really when I bring up the type of stuff that has happened to me, it's really probably in conversation if somebody else bring it up. And when I do, it's not even like it's coming from a place of hurt. It's more of an informative type. Like, yeah, this is what I was going through as a kid. That's it. It's not. I'm cool with it. Like that doesn't make or shake my future. And it's over with. Like I just had a upbringing that I wish I didn't have all the way, but like I can't change it. And I've learned some lessons out of it too. Like so when you shift your way of thinking to understand to look at a bad thing and turn it into a positive the same way God does, period, then you'll realize these things had to happen no matter how bad they look in order for you to be who you are now and deal with certain things in life because things is going to hit you and you got to be strong. And what more way to be strong than to deal with a parent who you got to go back and forth with? Who you don't even know if really like you or not. Like you don't know what's going on. It's very hard to deal with when you're in it. But once you're out and you really start taking care of yourself, it gets better. It really gets better. Um, because it's when you get older and you accept it, it gives you a sense of clarity. Like you can realize that it was never you. Like you weren't the problem. Because when you research this type of stuff, you look like, okay, but these describe everything about my mom. So this was her prior to her having me. So it couldn't have been me doing it, or this was her as I was growing up. So how did you develop that? And I'm a kid. A kid ain't gonna do too much to you to make you, feel a certain type of way as far as being a narcissist. Like, come on, I ain't do that crazy. Like, I was just born, and I feel like it gives you just a sense of like freedom. It frees you from that bondage, that mental bondage of thinking like, damn, my mom did not love me. You was not affirming, like you was not caring, you was not like you literally gave me the bare minimum. If you could just get past that part of what you would have wanted and get and go forward and give it to yourself, y'all, I promise you'll be able to deal with that person. Because again, it does suck to not have a mom that I can go to and talk to about anything, but that's the reality. Like I can't focus on the fact that it did not happen, because then that's that mental bondage. I'm looking at the reality of what it is. I realize I am not to blame. And because of that, I am not the one to fix it. And I think that's where the mother daughter relationships kind of stay the same, where there's no progress, because the daughter might feel like she has to fix it because some, for whatever reason, like something must have happened to have her get on me. Like, what would be the point? The thing is, you don't have to know the why. The why is that's how they are. The why is the fact that they're the narcissist. The why is what you can see that that they're showing. When you take people in general at face value, you'll see these folks. Everybody ain't for me, mom included. Like, and it's a sad it's sad and something probably hard to cope with, but it's doable. And I'm telling you because I did it. Like, that's really it's the real definition. It's low key the real definition of the truth will set you free. It's gonna break your heart to know you ain't got no relationship with your parent, depending on how well you can handle that. But you don't have no relationship with your mom that you want. But the truth is gonna set you free to continue to keep going and live your life. You cannot sit here and wonder why things did not happen in life when you have no control over changing them, and that includes why your mother wasn't there the way that you needed her to be. Now, how you need to handle that, whether it's getting therapy or whether it's you becoming that mom now for your children to stop that cycle, it's however you need to handle it. But you need to get a grip on the fact that it's not going to change if they don't make the change. Nothing you can do or say is going to make them do that. All they're going to do is keep standing their ground. Most of the time when they're stuck in their ways, they're going to keep standing their ground. And you're just going to hinder yourself emotionally, which then can become physically, because now you're trying to be a savior to a person that you did not put into that issue, into that situation. They put you into it. And as life goes on, you should be learning some wisdom. And some people just don't, and that's okay, but it's not for you. You're not God. We're not Jesus. We're not the ones to fix people. We are here as vessels to do whatever God tells us to do. But fixing another human being and making them change their mind and making them see where they went wrong is not one of them. That is not a task for us to deal with. And a lot of the times, I think that comes with trying to have closure, but there's no closure. You saw what you saw, you went through what you went through, and you have to just accept that and move forward. And then strengthen yourself. And for me, I believe in Jesus Christ. So I need that type of strength. So that when and if, because the enemy be knowing what to use against you and what you care about, if and when that situation arises again, you have a more clear mind to be able to handle that situation. And you won't handle it in an emotional state to the point where they can still get a riff out of you, making you cry, making you feel away, feeling exhausted, don't want to do nothing, just a whole mental breakdown. You can now walk in clarity, talk to them in clarity, articulate what you want to get through, say what you really mean, and stand on it, and not have them 52 fake you out on what you mean and mix your words and stuff like that. No, this is what I mean. This is what I want. If you cannot comply, then we cannot have a relationship. You kind of got to low key use reverse psychology. Put that right back on them. I'm not going to take the heat for whatever you're going through anymore. I'm sorry that you're going through it, and I wish that you can get past it. But if you can't, you can't project that on me. And that's my boundary number one. I think that's boundary number one you need to have is you can no longer project that onto me. So I'm not going to receive it. I'm not taking it no more. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep trying to project it. But I'm not taking it. And that's step number one. Don't take none of the stuff that they say or do at all, especially when you know you've done your part to try to mend things. And then at the end of the day, don't feel guilty for setting your boundary, because that's number one. Ain't gonna try to make you feel like, oh, you don't want me to talk. However slick and slide they try to do it, don't fall for that. A boundary is supposed to help you in your heart, and in the Bible it says protect that heart. So what you gonna listen to, the Bible or your mom? Especially when you realize your mom is only ain't been helping you the whole time. Like, That's just what it is. Like, you don't owe anybody anything. And you don't owe your parents for being here. Again, you brought me here. You don't owe anybody an explanation as to why you want to set a boundary. I'm setting the boundary, you either following it or you're not. And with narcissists, that's over. They're gonna tell you they're not following it flat out. And you simply have to say, okay. That type of reaction is not what they want to hear. Because they don't, it's like, how dare you? Because they're not the mother that could tell you what to do no more. You grown. So you gotta act in that and stand in that. Cause you gotta make decisions for your life. When we all leave, we ain't leaving with nobody but ourselves. So if we don't make the decisions, God ain't gonna be like, oh, your mom ain't do this, that, and the third. Now, he ain't finna say that to you. It's gonna be, yeah, X, Y, and Z happened, but what did you do? How did you act? How did you move? So we coming alone, we gotta leave alone. Don't have yourself thinking that having a boundary is a punishment, because it's not. It's protection, and the protection is for you. And people who really love and who care about you would understand that and would keep that to keep you in their life. If they don't, then you might have to question their motives of wanting to be around you in the first place. I would say that one of the other biggest things too is that you have to be okay with what their answers are. You have to be okay with them saying no. You have to be okay with them not accepting it. You just have to be. I would say a lot of times too, what can probably help you is like if you either write stuff down or especially like your triggers. Like I knew when I was gonna get triggered so bad. Oh my goodness, I knew when I was all the triggers. I just knew them. You have to process everything. Yeah, you have to process your emotions. You have to process those interactions. You have to process the past. Again, whether you're doing it with a therapist or whether you're just doing it on your own, you have to process them and be okay to be able to sit in it. You're gonna feel some emotions. You're gonna feel anger. You might feel shame. You might feel grief because you don't have a mom. You're not getting the same. You might feel cheated because you're not getting the same that other people can get. You might feel confused because why in the hell would this, or why in the heck would somebody else have this and you didn't, and you don't even know why, what happened, like you don't even know how y'all got there. And then recognize your own patterns of survival. Yeah, I was in survival mode. I swear I was in survival mode living there, and I was in survival mode coming out of it, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I went in from one pattern and not being able to like process how I felt to being in a relationship with somebody, which like the relationship part is not, wasn't the issue. The issue was I never processed the emotions with her, which then caused me to stay in that survival mode and not really deal with things in my relationship with the guy, with my man. And I was handling it the same way I would handle her, which wasn't right. And um, so it kept me in bondage even more. And now that I'm out of survival mode, I realized, I really was in survival mode. I don't know how I was making it. I don't know how I was functioning. And a lot of the times it was just, I just kept going. But there was like nothing. It was just, there was no, I don't know what you call it, but it was like no support, or like it was just nothing behind me. It was literally just me feeling like I'm just doing whatever. And I was trying to do things the way that I thought they were supposed to be done, and try to achieve some of my goals, but I still had some things that I never got to handle. And then so I start putting myself on the back burner, and that's the absolute no when you start putting yourself on the back burner, because that right there, oh my goodness, that felt like I feel like I wasted so many years putting everything behind me and not really dealing with it, to the point where I never really got to enjoy some of the things that I should have enjoyed in those moments. I'm now looking back, like I didn't enjoy that in the moment thing, because it was just always so much stuff happening, because I already had build up that I just never got to deal with. And then if you can find a support system, then by all means do you. For me, I work better just by myself. I really don't care for the support to be around me. I mean, I care that if a person wants to support me, I'm cool with that. But I don't need it to be like an everyday type of thing, or just something that would help me on a daily basis. But if you are that person, by all means, I wish the support system on everybody, because I definitely didn't have it, don't have it, and I feel like that support, the lack of support, kind of furthered my survival mode too, because now I'm trying to figure out everything and I don't really have nobody to help. When in all actuality, I should have been looking at God, but I just wasn't at the time because, again, I told you how my mom was. Um, but if you can find that support system, by all means, more support, more help, whatever it takes to get you to where you need to, and never forget about yourself and keep on pushing forward will help you get to where you need to be in life, mentally and physically. And that support doesn't always have to come from family either. Like it could come from friends, relationships that whatever mother like older people who have like a mother in nature or mother in spirit. It doesn't matter. Just whatever it is, by all means, do it if it helps. And then realize that when we forgive people not for them, but for ourselves. Like the forgiveness is not to get validation from them. The forgiveness is supposed to allow you to remove yourself from the shackles of whatever that situation is and then move forward. Because you're telling them, look, I know you did something to me, so that's acknowledging it. I want you to stand on it, so I want you to take the accountability, but if you don't, it's okay because I'm still going to move forward. That's really what forgiveness is. It's to remove you from shackles that you were not put that you did not put yourself in. Put it like that. And when you do that, you're so much more powerful. And that's that part of freely being like you're being freed from just acknowledging that there's an issue, but you're not the problem of it. Because mother-daughter relationship, again, I didn't do nothing as a kid that would make you not like me or me and you be at odds all my life. Like what? That it doesn't make sense. And to remember that forgiveness doesn't mean access. Access to you is earned. Access to you is earned. Like it's not a given because of a title. This your mom is a vessel too to bring you in here for whatever God has for you, but now they should be able to stay in your life to be able to help you out, but they're still a vessel as well. And then the access is like the forgiveness too, and not having that access is to let you know that letting go doesn't mean you need for her to see your worth. Your worth is already there. Nobody needs to see it but you. And then you have to walk in that confidence of, yeah, I know my worth. Like, and this ain't it. You don't have to seek her validation no more. I know I used to do that when I was a kid. I've been stopped that a long time ago. And again, by the grace of God, because I don't know how I did it. I really don't. I can't say. And then the forgiveness release resentment from your soul. It frees your soul. Forgiveness release resentment from your soul. It allows you to no longer resent this person for whatever it is because you're accepting them for who they are. You've come to realization this is what it is. And you understand that to move forward, you don't need them there. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's definitely doable. Then if you're of faith, then let God be all of that. Because at the end of the day, God is supposed to replace that anyway. God is supposed to be our protector, our nurturer, our carer, like everything, restorer. He gives us, it's everything. God is supposed to do that anyway. So we have to allow God to step into our life to be able to do that, but we can't do that if we're not releasing the stuff onto Him. So, yeah, y'all, you're not alone, whether you have that support system or not. You're not alone. If you don't, God is always with us. Give it to Him. Take it from your heart. Give it to Him. Like you don't have to second guess yourself no more. You can trust your own voice and realize that you have a say in your life. You can say no with not having guilt. Like anybody that make you feel guilty for anything, goodbye. Leave them. You can feel peace even if that person is angry. You're no longer like uptight about it, like trying to figure out how to fix this stuff because you're not supposed to be fixing anybody. People have to fix themselves under God. Only God can fix a person. Only God can make a person do this and do that. Not you. Realize that you no longer need her approval to thrive. You are here for a reason, and you have to figure that reason out by seeking the Lord. Period. And He will let you know. And that's your own walk. That's not her walk. It doesn't have a certain type of way that you should do it. It's going to be done. It's going to be done how it's supposed to be done by God's way. Period. So yeah, y'all, that's some of the traits. That's some of the ways that you can fix and start start that healing process because it's achievable. And if y'all are like me that deals with an overt narcissist, then comment below. If you're not like me who deals with overt, maybe you deal with covert, comment below. I would love to hear some stories and see how people are thinking about this and how you guys navigate and start your healing process if you're over it, and things that you've learned. Um and yeah, y'all, it's always gonna get better. Like, life gets better. It's a light at the end of the tunnel as long as you keep walking one foot in front of the other. So if y'all like this video, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to your girl. If you did not check my other video out, go check it out right now. I know this video kind of long, but it's a lot of stuff that be in it. So, come rock with your girl. And then I'll be back, I think, for a part 3.